What's up, y'all? Bear with me while I just tweak this crazy shot right here. Oh god, this might help a little. Hey, that's looking a lot better. Just gonna mess around while we let the stream build, and thanks for coming. You know why we're here. Let's see, where is the chat at? Hey, what's happening? Sugar Donkey in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, dude. See, all right, now I can see where the chat is. It is warm here, fellas, ladies and gents. I can show you briefly what is just my open garage door. So, yo, what's up, GTV in the house too? Thank you, gents. I appreciate you guys popping in, man. Frosty hydration method here. It's a good one. I can rub some of that cold water on my dome. Feels good. So I guess I'm gonna have to keep the glasses on if I care to read the chat. So you'll have to bear with some glare. Maybe I can lower this a little bit better or something. That would be cool. I don't know. And just still getting a few things set up. I forgot my trapper keeper, so I think we're gonna be a little bit more freeform tonight. I do have the metronome though, so never fear. The constant clickety clack is here. If you're in here, please give the stream a little, helps it spread it out to everybody. Helps me get it out there to new viewers and notify my subscribers. So if you're here, hit the like button. We're here to talk, of course, in memory of Brent Hinds, of Dirty B Hinds. That always just made me laugh so hard. It was so witty, like something that stands out in all of his work out there is just a high level of intellect and a high IQ, and even though a tortured soul to some degree, you know, left a huge mark on everything still here. So I'm excited to talk about that while you're here and you're peeping the stream. Leave a comment in the chat and let me know if you have any stories about Brent Hinds, if you have what's your favorite moments and things that kind of like stood out to you. That would be awesome, and riff on and talk amongst yourselves in the chat. And I'm just pumped to be on. I was gonna go on last night and it just didn't really add up. My wife and I ended up going on an ice cream date, something that we tried to do a few days beforehand, and it just didn't really pan out. We drove around circles because in South Carolina here, tons of stuff closed on Sunday, and then stuff that's closed on Sunday, or there's tons of stuff that's closed on Monday as well. So you really like lose if you're trying to do much on those days. So now we're here. We rescheduled, and we're gonna do this right, and we're gonna Brent Hinds and his music and his art and the jokes and just about everything that we see like that. It's still left up here on YouTube. Earlier today, I shared a playlist on Instagram, and I shared it on YouTube as well as like a post, I believe, but those things I can never really tell if they're working or not. But I did a playlist on it now, so after the stream, if you want to catch up on some brilliant moments, there's like almost 50 videos out there that I've added to a playlist of good moments and shredding and behind the scenes stuff, some documentaries. If you guys follow Video Raheem over on Instagram, what's up, Raheem? He did a lot of the production during a certain period of time, and stuff is tremendous. It looks beautiful, and I have it in that playlist if you want to check time you saw him live was Louder Than Life 2024. Ooh, that was good, dude. I think like 2024, he was really on top of the solo thing. Like, I mean, there are just so many like mind melting solos out there, and a bunch from that tour. Uh, yeah, that's some incredible stuff, man. I wish I had gotten to see them at that point. On my end, the only time I ever got to see them live was like when they had first broken out, and it's probably like 2027 or something like that. Um, they're touring with Tool, and it was the 10,000 Days tour. And I think Lamb of God was a bill too, so it was like a really like sore the next day type of thing. Huge pits. Um, but I remember that was like around the time Brent got that tattoo, the forehead tattoo, and like I just thought that he looked like somebody of like a Conan movie or something. I never knew the nuance at that time to like his personality and stuff, um, which was funny because now looking back on it, like it's such a different thing than I thought. Like it's not like this huge like I don't know this deal. I guess it's normalized these days to have face tattoos and whatnot. But I've seen pictures where you can actually how much it spreads like over the side of his head and down his neck and stuff. That's pretty sick. I heard he got it in Hawaii, which is part of the lore, I guess. Yeah, oh, Travis is here too. What's up, Travis, man? Good to see you, dude. I hope you're feeling well. I saw some updates in the last day or so, I think, or some comments on your last updates, and I really hope you're doing well, dude. It's really great to have another musician in here and one I respect. Like your song and your ability to play the tunes that you do and sing while doing it. That's not something that comes easy. That comes with years of practice and years of study, and you're out there and you're putting your music out there in front of people. I think that's just super sick, dude. Yeah, and the home here, this is awesome. I really feel good about this. Boot and scoot and boogie, yes sir. What's up, Tim? How you doing, man? Came in with the boot scoot and boogie. That's it, dude. The country flavor is something that I never really thought I would appreciate, but now I just like super duper appreciate the country flavor about what Brent did, like through the launch of the band and how he landed. I guess West End Motel. I don't know if it came before Mastodon. Maybe it did. I know Fiend Without a Face is super duper early as well, and it's always been interesting to find that somebody has maintained like these dual and triple musical personalities throughout this entire career. I guess that's how you can account for just the level of expertise and guitar playing that Brent was capable of achieving. The solo stuff, it's been really interesting because I'm writing some solos to some of my songs, and I've tried the best that I over the past like 2 months to really not inundate music, because I want the originality and the hooks to live within my own writing, not within like emulation. But that all being said, I'm trying to write solos for these things. It looks like the stream is lagging for a minute here. Let me jump off my Wi-Fi and see if we have better. I think that'll be much better. You guys good? Let me know if it came back up. Hit the like if the stream is back up and running. I would really appreciate that. That would be sick. And I can see it right away. So I was referencing the country stuff, and that led me into discussing the solos that I'm currently writing. So it's an interesting way of looking at it, and I spent so much time in the heavy metal world. My previous band, in and out, I think 20 years, but trying to do something that's original and that is coming from a place that is not completely rooted in heavy metal is different to me. So I've had the luxury of using Brent's diversity to give me inspiration, and that led me to a skateboarding reference where I wanted to say like with skateboarding, you watch your favorite skateboarder's favorite skateboarder. So that's always been interesting, using a musical inspiration and then looking at their inspirations. So um, there's an interview that I shared in that playlist that you can see Brent discussing with the host, a video by Chet Atkins and uh, his name's escaping me, Jerry Reed, and they're playing, Jerry's breakdown, and they're trading solos over it. It's pretty insane. Met Tom Cheshire online talking about Brent one day. I had no idea he was in West Motel with him. Oh wow, dude, that's awesome, dude. Tom is the man, and that's just a prime example of how genuine he is. It's so cool, man. Um, yeah, discovering West End Motel was huge. I think I saw Brent refer to it in an interview as the greatest band you've never heard, and I guess that really proved to be true until recently. I really see like the West End Motel vibe just growing, and I think a lot of that comes directly back to Tom and this awesome thing that he's doing, which is funny, like his slogan and everything with I choose awesome. It's just this well of goodness and openness and personality. That's really cool to hear. I first heard Tom's name in a couple interviews that Brent did where he was discussing his early life and hopping trains, which was really freaking cool. Like, I've never really done it, but when I was a very young kid, I grew up in New Jersey, and we were right next to the train tracks. And I've always loved the sound of the trains. It lulls me to sleep, the vibrations as they roll by, if they're close enough. Where we're at right now, we have a train that's within earshot. It usually comes around 11. I think it's some type of a cargo line, like a CSX, which would be kind of perfect to hop. But yeah, that's the first time I heard Tom Cheshire mentioned, was in a reference to when he first got to Atlanta and they were hopping trains together and getting into a little bit of dicey situations. Oh yeah, sick, dude. Dude, it's so good. Like, you get a little view inside, I guess, Brent's like enclosed porch and stuff. Yo, what's up, mother truckin'? Good to see you too. Thanks for popping in. Oh, I'm stoked, dude. There's so many like key people here. This is like gonna be so fun. This is like already so fun. I'm happy that everybody jumped in, and please do, talk amongst yourselves. I know everybody here knows everybody here through Instagram, for the most part. It's great that we're all here together and you guys can connect on the back end, and everybody's so supportive in this community. Everybody seems to be choosing awesome aplenty, which is really exciting. So it's wild, it's wild to think that it's already been a year's passed, and we're like 2 days away from the true anniversary of Brent's death. And that's like, it's heavy in a way that didn't hit me until just before like hopping on the stream. I was walking my dog, and I was thinking about like, if my messaging was clear about when Brent passed, like, because there's a lot of people that follow me that don't necessarily know beyond my posts who Mastodon is, or West End Motel, and it hit me that, all right, we're not on the true anniversary of his passing, like it's in 2 days from now, but imagine the feeling that we're all gonna be like 2 days away from our expiration date, and we wouldn't know it. Like, there's some part a year ago today where Brent was living, the twilight of his life as normal. He was taken so suddenly. A motorcycle accident is something that, it's not a downward spiral, it's instantaneous. And so a year ago today, he was like just living, just being Brent, and then 2 days later, you're gone. It's so heavy. And when you're in the public eye and you touch as many people as those guys do, as Brent did, as End Motel does, it's wonderful that, you know, it's another reason to choose awesome. It's another reason to like embrace that. That's one thing that I'm really enjoying about growing this community and getting to know everybody here through I Choose Awesome and through Tom's, you know, open open arms and open heart, that, you know, we're all collaborating in this really meaningful way lately. It's truly incredible to think that 2 days from now it could just all be black, it could all be gone. Definitely broke my heart. All right, I'm gonna catch up. Friend of the Dirty Beat, Hinds is a friend of mine. Yeah, dude, absolutely. It's heavy, but I feel like the energy is still around. I see butterflies that remind me of him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a beautiful thing to say about anybody. And you know, I lost somebody very close to me recently, and the things that you see, if you're open-minded enough throughout your everyday, can really give you a closeness to them. You know, that closeness that lets you know that they're not gone from your life entirely, whether it's from a memory or a moment or an inspiration. I'm glad you see that. Definitely broke my heart when I came home and told my family the news. Yeah, dude, it's one of those things. It's that's like the blessing and the curse of getting older is one thing that I talk about often, because the more you live and the more you see and experience, the more the older you get starts to get taken away in the form of people that you cared for, people that you knew in the past, you know. And then there's the flip side of that, that's the growth, right? Meeting your friends' children and grandchildren. You know, there was a moment in my life where my son met a friend of mine who had passed away his son online, and they became friends for a short period of time. That was truly remarkable. That was one of those things, you know, that whatever the algorithm was at that point somehow pulled those two into the same orbit and they connected. That's beautiful, you know. Yeah, life is short and we're never guaranteed anything. No, not even close. Sometimes I think that's like the source of a lot of my personal anxiety, is that measurement, you know, that hourglass that we're all faced with. You know, I have this tendency to explore so many different things, and flex my life and flex my interests and my career sometimes into trying to realize those artistic goals, you know, and those artistic ambitions. I wish that I didn't forget my Trapper Keeper upstairs. It's sick and it has all my notes in it. I feel like I'm rambling a lot, and not having notes is bad for someone like me. So I have a couple guitars here. I don't really know what to play or what to do. I brought this one because I always thought Brent would dig it. This is one that, yeah, I brought it down because I thought he would dig it. This is a K guitar. It's called an arch top. So it's got this nifty shape on it that helps resonate. I bought this guitar off of eBay because when I first started playing guitar during the pandemic, I think Nirvana's music was a very easy barrier of entry, like 3-chord songs, you know, and I can't stand Green Day, unfortunately. So bands like that had a very easy thing that you could kind of adopt and learn some songs. In the past, when I was in my other band, I played bass. So I played bass for a really, really long time. I have a nifty bass clef tattoo. It's kind of in disguise there, but that's there. Because I do love playing the bass. I have a beautiful vintage Fender upstairs, and you'll see some parallels between the songs that I'm writing and Nirvana, not in a sound way, but in a relationship between the guitar and the bass guitar. if you listen to Nirvana's songs and a lot of other punk rock songs, Green Day included, the guitar is very simple, and the vocals often are in unison with the guitar to a certain degree, and then the bass is like going all over the place, and it's the more interesting component. And I think that that's really fun. It's been an easy way for me to begin writing songs. Playing Stairway to Heaven earlier. Oh wow, the forbidden song. How dare you? As long as it's not in a Guitar Center, then I think you're okay. But every now and then I'll be writing something and I'll stumble across that particular little box on the neck, and I'm like, oh god, it's right there. But I've never actually learned it. I'm glad you like the guitar. So what brought me back to getting this is the same guitar. It can be seen in the hit piece, I guess you could call it. I forget if it was it was Rolling Stone, when they just totally threw Kurt and Courtney under the bus as being drug addicts and stuff. There's one of these kind of in the corner of the room, and its neck is broken. And then there's a moment in the Come As You Are music video where Kurt's swinging from like a wrought iron chandelier, and he has this model of K in his hand. I got it for a steal, believe it or not, and there's not a whole lot out there. I did cut the pickguard myself. I made it a little bit too long because I was just using a template that I found on Reddit, but it kind of changes the sound, the way that it covers that bottom F cut, and I think it makes it unique, if anything else. I picked it up before the last stream, and it had been months since I tuned it, and it stays in tune a lot better than some other guitars. So, I've been going through the writing process, and that's been one of the blessings by discovering End Motel and Fiend Without a Face. It's an inspiration within genres that I didn't normally listen to or explore. And I love the diversity within the West End catalog. It's so diverse. You have everything from like new wave to punk rock to stuff that sounds like it could be on the borderline of rock and roll and country, and just plain rock and roll. I was trying to describe it to my wife the other day. I was just like, if I had to describe them, it's just like pure rock and roll. It's like the neo, I don't know, like late 70s, early 80s, like stepping up of rock and roll, where suddenly bands that were playing rock and roll were playing huge venues and stuff. And I hope that that's something that is in the cards for West End. There's such talented musicians all around. So that's something that we could have some fun with. Was when I very first met Tom, and I was going through it at the time. I was really taken back by had no idea what to expect when Tom told me to check him out. Yeah, right? Like, it is one of those things where I think Brent really did sum it up when he said it's the greatest rock and roll band you never heard of. I really love that description of them. Totally dig it. Yeah, it just grows on you. If you're here and you're on YouTube, go and check out their music videos as well as their songs. There's a ton of their catalog that they have music videos for, and some of them are just brilliant. The song Another Day has an incredibly edited video of the New York subway, and my wife and we just watch it on repeat over and over. I leave it on the TV while we're going about our chores and stuff, because it just has this catchy beat. I haven't learned it, but it has this catchy beat and a very simple strummy guitar part, with some stabs in it, and the video syncs up with the song like nearly perfectly. It's just incredible. It's one of those things where if you've been in the city for any length of time, my wife and I, we both spend a ton of time in New York City. Uh, if you're listening to like an iPod or whatever, your phone, sometimes the rushing by of the scenery while you're on the subway just seems to match the song that you're listening to perfectly, and West End, they captured it perfectly, like the song and the editing. So when I was first talking to Tom, I was asking him about that in particular, and it's something that he produced and made, I think, pretty much all by himself. So what a tremendous talent to have as well. Found out about WEM late to the game, Fiend Without a Face, more my style, but the more I listen to WM, it's great. Yeah, it is. It's always refreshing to me, and there's a lot of their music that just can be an embellishment to what you're doing. A lot of songs force themselves into your perception in a way, and Fiend Without a Face definitely does that. But West End is something that I love for its mellowness and positivity, and that definitely describes Tom to a T. So I was talking to Tom about the editing of that video and trying to, not waste his time, but at the moment and at that time I was kind of going through it, so I needed a shoulder, and he was right there to listen, and he introduced me to the homies, Tim and Dex from GTV, and we just like hit it off. Like it was like, you went to the playground and you just saw somebody standing there, and you hit it off. Next thing you know, you're best friends for the rest of your lives. I really feel that with these dudes, and I'm really sorry that I never got to meet Brent in a meaningful way, like like Tom knew him, of course, and that's just one of those things. You get to experience a person through their friends once they're gone as well, and seeing all these events and all these things that happen around the community that Tom like gave me entry to and access to. It's incredible, how they come together for each other in so many ways, and so often that it's undeniable that there's a closeness and a sameness there, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The Seagull Men is awesome too. Yeah, and Giraffe Tongue Orchestra as well. So there's for example, CKY released a song, I think it was yesterday, with Brent playing a solo in that song. And that's something that was a bit of a surprise and somewhat of a shock to everybody. And there was another song a few weeks ago, maybe going on a month ago. What's the name of that kid? He's from right around here. He shreds like Jerry Reed style bluegrass. But Brent did a solo on one of his songs as well. Brent told me all the homies down at meet and greet, he was serious. Music writers and blues, yeah, 100%, dude. What is going on? So, Marcus King, yes, thank you, that's the one. He's so good. I guess he was on Rogan. I saw a clip of a quote that he was describing Brent being blacked out and going through some really dark times as well, but funny. Oh my god. Yeah, Marcus King, dude, that guy shreds so good. It's unbelievable. And what's that other, the dude with the long hair, Billy Strings, too. They never worked together as far as I know, but that guy shreds as well. It's such a unique thing. I can't really get down too much on chicken picking, teaching myself a little bit. I have the advantage of coming from a bass background, and I did play with my fingers a lot on that. Uh, so it does kind of translate to this, but I haven't really mastered it yet. I was looking for the techniques and the videos and stuff, and there's two videos of Brent playing when he was giving a guitar lesson. So that was something that shocked me about him, and Bill does it as well, and the homie Matt Pike as well. When they're not busy or not on tour, you're able to schedule a Zoom 1 hour long guitar lesson with those dudes. If it's in your budget, and if it's in your goals and ambitions to do so, they have an open door. So I think Brent mostly did his in person, like when they're on tour. When he was in a city, you could book time, hour blocks with him like that. I think Bill does it mostly online at this point, through Zoom. But there's two videos out there of Brent showing some of his warm-up and practice techniques, and they're really interesting, and they're really difficult. Can't really get my whole guitar in the shot with this vertical format, but the fact of the matter is he does a lot of sliding in and out of the fingerings as well. It's like you taking little shortcuts to go up the neck quickly. And the first one I learned. It's a variation of a minor scale that uses an open string. Takes some warming up, but I'll try it a couple times in a row. It looks like you guys are chatting together, which is phenomenal. Please keep it on. Yeah, Bill is cool, dude, super chill. Any skill level is welcome. I haven't had a chance to do so, but love to get a lesson and jam Metallica songs. Yeah, dude, it would be so fun. Just have one-on-one with somebody like that. It's incredible, and I feel like that just about every time I get a phone call and it says Tom Cheshire. It's like, it's incredible. And then let me just play through this a couple times while you guys hang out and chat around. Yeah, it's a bitch, but it really does warm you up. I'm gonna put my metronome on and really go goofball practice mode on this. So for you guys that are in here right now, the homies, this is a antique metronome. It was gifted to me. I show it on the stream a lot just because it's one of my favorite things. It's an antique metronome. It uses a sliding weight and a turnkey over here. It's spring driven. Has to be pretty much on a flat surface. I have this this painting that I'm working on in a coffin, so I'm gonna put that over here. Right now I just have a bunch of picks thrown in there, and I'm gonna try and find the right tempo for this exercise, because you should always practice to a metronome. All right, good night, bro. Thanks for stopping in again, Sugar Donkey. I know it's past your bedtime, and I appreciate you jumping in here. It's good to see you. I appreciate your streams, dude. It's funny, your work stress one this past weekend really hit home, and I had some inspiration that I'm going to be sharing tonight. So thanks for popping in, homie. Guys and Gad shrug carefully. Thanks, bro. Tim. What? Very antique. I got a weighted one from an old. Oh, cool. Yes, on the coffin. Hell yeah. Oh, you're still here? Awesome. Awesome. Well, let me just, while you're still here, one of the first songs I learned from End Motel is "Oh, I'm on My Way," and it goes something like this. Thing. There we go. Hang on, let's get this going. Oh no, do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Let's not butcher that anymore. That's been enough. So the idea there is I'm going to try and learn that and sing it as a tribute in the not too distant future. Got some work to do apparently. I'm a little distracted though, so. That's almost it. Yeah, it is a challenge for sure. Always had to try and concentrate to read the comments too. Yeah. That's it. I'll put it together. Maybe I should add a cup of coffee. Something like that. We made it through it a little bit. The soul is a different story altogether, but uses some techniques I think I can fumble my way through eventually. So, shh, don't tell Tom, but that's something that I'm going to try to do, I don't know, within the next few weeks. My birthday's later this month. Sometime around then, maybe. Shouldn't take too much to get through it. Yeah, it does have a early Smashing Pumpkins, like a something off like Cherub Rock or something like that. Play some fucking Slayer. Yeah, for sure. I'm down. Um, for that, I could probably plug in. Let me take 1 second. I want to lower this door a little bit because I do feel like playing the old V in honor of Dirty B. So hang on a sec. All right. So, got the guitar. Let me get a sip of water real quick. So there's a shameless plug. Circling back on the topic of the evening. When I've always wanted a flying V. And I got lucky and I found this thing on Facebook Marketplace. And a lot of people that I admire play, V's going all the way back into, old, older rock and roll, 70s rock and roll, Kiss and all that stuff. See, we lost Frank Beard too. Yeah, man. It's so ironic that that's his name too, right? Isn't it? He's the one in the band that didn't have the big beard. Circling back, yeah, like the blessing and the curse is getting old. More and more people that we admire, like look at some of the pictures of Hetfield and stuff nowadays, and Tom Araya. Oh my God! Even look at me, dude. Look at this big gray beard. It's crazy. This is not a Jackson. It is a definitely like a non-traditional V shape with these horns on the bottom there, and it has this really spiffy reverse headstock on it. It's a very similar pattern to what the guys at Woodwright are doing, but this one is a Brownsville. So the funny thing about this particular type of guitar is it's an in-house brand that Guitar Center made, and they didn't make a ton of them, but it's very punchy for a V. It has 2 humbuckers set up. It doesn't have like a vintage sound. It has like a punchier sound. This one is it's neck through, and it's this really beautiful tobacco burst. I love it. I love the vintage style pickguard and stuff. It's comfortable, and it has really nice taper on the neck. Pop Heck. Yeah, losing Pop Het is going to be really, really tough. I mean, so many. There are so many people that are just getting on and up because, yeah, the kind of like shark fin fret markers are very Jackson. I love the Mustaine's V's that have like a very scalloped one. It's sick. Yeah, I love this thing. I'm glad you like it. Uh, got some hum coming from the humbuckers. Careful, kids, it's about to get nasty. Yeah, definitely. Um, so one thing that I did in tribute and kind of like in memory of Brent on this thing was I pretty much designed the dirty sticker to be just a one-off for this guitar. Uh, Brent had a really nice signature, I think it was one of his signature Epiphones, green Flying V, and he has a sticker in this spot back here, and it says toes. And for a while, I was like super curious about what that actually meant. Like, clearly, I don't think it was a foot fetish thing. I think it was like just some coded kind of like message. I couldn't really place it. Uh, Last year on the first annual Brent Hinds birthday, was that earlier this year? Uh, my wife and I went down to Atlanta to meet Tom, and we were there at the same time Dex and Tim were. We never really met. We were in close proximity to each other, but we never really met at that time. And we were at Elmere. Excuse me. January, yeah. We were at Elmere, and we were sitting down for some food. And we were seated in the back of the restaurant at first, and then, pardon me, the party didn't get as big as we expected, so we moved up to a table right next to the main bar room. And there was one of those stickers that said toes on the door that divided the bar from the beginning hallway to the dining room. And I was like, oh shit, there's that sticker again, you know? And it was like ripped, like somebody had tried to rip it off the door. But I was wondering, you know, it just wasn't just some kind of a one-off. So in my mind, I was like, oh, somebody made these and it means something. So it turns out that it is connected to the song in Mastodon, "Toe to Toes," which is one of my favorites from that band. And the message behind it, the song being called that, and the lyrics to the song, it was written for an Atlanta artist whose name he went by Toes in social circles or whatever, and he tragically passed away, I think from an overdose is what I heard. So yeah, there were all these connections to it, and I wanted, at first I was like, oh, let me make my own, you know, tribute sticker that says toes back here before I knew the meaning. But the meaning felt so personal, you know, and so authentic that I was like, well, I clearly can't do that. You know, that would be in such poor form. So I sat down with some graph paper and I copied the font by hand. You could tell it's like far from perfect. It's like a Western saloon style font. And I just wrote out dirty. So at the time, I sent it to Tom on a text message, I think. And I was like, hey, you know, is this cool? Like, just getting a temperature check on whether that was like posery to do or whatever. And when he was like, no, that's awesome, I was like, oh, bet. I make stickers often. My wife and I have a company where we do like artwork and stuff. So any chance we get or we find a sale on stickers, we make them because we know it's such a valuable marketing tool and such an organic marketing tool as well. So we found a deal and we made like, you know, 50 or 100 of them, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna send these out, you know, I'm just gonna spread this around because something that I only wanted one of, but I knew that people would get enjoyment from. And we found a reliable vendor. I think they did a killer job. The foil is super crisp and brilliant. You know, I have it on my water bottle here that I take to work. And sometimes I'm like purely taken aback by how freaking cool, even though it's covered in dew, but it just catches the light in so many cool ways at some point, you know? Um, it does so many beautiful things at random. Toe to toes, huh? I think I know that one. I don't know, 100%. What's interesting about that song in particular is the verse riff that yeah, it's like I think it's like drop A or something. The verse riff uses that like unique hammer on from the open string. It's so catchy, like it almost doesn't feel like it should make sense. And the intro, the banjo part is what really catches you, but they kind of, it takes like a real long time to get up to that main lick, so I haven't really practiced that much, but I had to learn those two parts. Yeah, the lyrics to that song are real tearjerkers. I mean, that's definitely one of the main draws to that band is those three artists. I mean, Troy, Brent, Braun. They really come together in a way. It's super special when three minds meet like that. Like reminds me of the Beastie Boys in some strange way, because the way that they say that they wrote songs together, it's just the idea just bounces around and comes back and bounces around again. That's just incredible, and I'm always so surprised by the depth that they can get through their lyrics. Yeah, quoting the song is definitely gonna make me cry too. Like, so it was really touching to hear that roundabout story. Sorry. That roundabout story about what the toes sticker meant, and where that came from. And the artist Toes, of course, he has an Instagram. You can go and you can check it out posthumously and see the work that he created. And it's very easy to see how these guys were associated and or friends, back in those days. So finding out from Tom, hitting this from another angle, another coincidence, is that Toes is the artist who created the cover art for Only Time Can Tell, the album, amazingly janky skeleton. It's like throwing up rainbows that are geometric and interlaced and stuff. And that artwork always struck me um, as really unique. And to hear that that was the artist that did the thing that was on the sticker, that was on the guitar, etc. It's like, whoa, yeah, that's who Toes what is, the artist. And he's done, recently they released another bit of artwork that said skeletons, and it was another multicolored thing, and you can tell instantly that it's, again, uh, Toes, the artist. I'll put his uh, I'll post his profile on my timeline when we get off or in the morning, and yeah, it's so cool. There's so many coincidences and unique things about what's happening at the moment with these artists and with this community. Uh, it was awesome also to see this past weekend at the Criminal Records show that they had one of Brent's guitars there on stage. Uh, not only was Toes, I guess, really plugged into Brent's circle of friends and everything, but of course Tom is and was and is, I guess, his best friend in life. So, I mean, the things are that you can see now, like going back and watching some of the interviews that I posted on my profile here, on my playlist. It's really wild to see how many things are connected like that, because you'll be seeing in an interview, and Brent will almost constantly be wearing a West End Motel shirt, and it's one of those things that went unnoticed by me for a long time. A lot of people in the music industry are very careful about what they wear and what they represent, etc. So, all right, Sugar Donkey, man. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for hanging out even longer. I appreciate everybody that's staying around and watching this up to this point. Looks like we're going on to an hour here, which is really awesome. Like, just to spend an hour with friends and not have to leave, the comfort of your room is something truly special. It's something that platforms like Instagram can't really provide. You get those moments and those hits of connectivity. Sometimes you wind up in a chat with somebody and you have the thrill of watching them type, and you feel connected in that way. But this is, to me, much more interesting and has a lot more potential to bring us closer together as friends and as colleagues and as collaborators. So it's awesome. Thanks for everybody who popped in so far. The purpose of these streams, normally I'm out here because I'm writing some songs. During the pandemic, I put down the bass and I picked up the guitar, and I've kind of set my mind into expressing some of the things that I didn't find the acceptance or the bandwidth or whatever in my previous band. And even though I was in that band for a very long time, there's very little ability for me to write or to contribute, like, materially, because it was a very focused message and dynamic, and there were 4 or 5 people in the band at any one time, so there's a lot of fighting for attention and vying for that too. So this is awesome because it's something that I'm completely in control of to a certain degree, but also seeking my own expanded collaborators. So that's been really exciting, to meet other musicians and to meet other people within this community that we could work together on some stuff, whether it's music or visuals, or just like the guys in GTV. I mean, there's almost not an hour in the day where we're not collaborating on something. I know it feels to me like so natural, and I haven't experienced any fatigue of repetition or constraint or anything. Like, Tim and Dex and Tom really are so open-minded when it comes to their craft and their art. and I can't wait to see what we can do together in a musical realm at some point as well. You know, if you get a chance to check out Tim's effort, it's called uh, Gods or Monsters. I think, Tim, if you're in there, correct me if I'm wrong. There's Gods and Monsters or Gods or Monsters. Uh, Tim creates soundscapes and synthwave, you know, with really dark elements at times, and he does spoken word as well. He performed his spoken word at Brent's birthday bash. It's oh yeah, all right, yeah, that's understandable for sure. Uh, he's truly creative in his own right, and then Dex is like this marketing visual wizard. He does these edits that are just floor me. There's this one that I was showing everybody. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Incredible. Tim's speech made you cry? Yeah, dude, made me cry too. He is an incredible speaker. He's an incredible thinker. Like he just there's with me, there's this tremendous gap or road to travel between my brain and my hands. Like you heard, you know, if I want to get something under my fingers, I have to play it quite a bit. Where it seems to me like Tim just his mind just outputs exactly what he needs. Oh hell yeah! Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you, dude. I'm glad you didn't miss it. I'm glad that you're here. Get to know everybody that's here. There's lots of similar-minded people. There's lots of friends from Instagram and out here for sure. So please do talk to each other and get to know each other, because that's why we're really here. We're here to talk about Brent. We're sharing our memories. We've had some really great memories coming through. If you get a chance later to watch it back, I know that it's like an hour of content at this time, but I don't think there are any commercials on these. These are some things that are fun if you can just put it on a road trip or on your commute, or just listen to it while you work. That's what I do. I love to experience content like that. I'm excited that we're all here together. So thanks for popping in. We've been discussing the life and times of Brent Hinds. We've been sharing stories about End Motel and about Mastodon a little bit, and a little bit about Fiend Without a Face. And it would be a good time to maybe bring them up, since I do see 666 in the username. I'm sure that you probably dig the Fiend Without a Face stuff. So I primarily use Amazon Premium to get my music, and unfortunately there's like only one of the Fiend albums on there. I think it's the second one. It's tremendous. It's something that I listen to front to back all the time. But Fiend 1 can be found here on YouTube. If you search up Fiend Without a Face, you can tell it has like the red Fez eyeball logo, and I think there's 16 or 17 songs. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I mean, there's so many people that are just passing on and moving forward. I don't know what you can call it. I'm a spiritual person. I wouldn't say I'm a religious person, and I don't really see any end to it. I know everybody has very personal beliefs to that, so it's always, I think, bittersweet to some degree when somebody passes that we've all kind of grown up knowing and loving their art. It's painful, but at the same time, you have the ability, like I know that there are ZZ Top albums that I've never listened to start to finish, and now I have this new rabbit hole, you know, to go down and just re-listen to some of their music and stuff. Yeah, Brent is something that he has a way of working his way into people's everyday lives, you know, that his memory is so strong. Missy Mother Truckin' was saying earlier how butterflies, at times she sees butterfly and it reminds her of Brent, and I think that's really interesting. You know, there are those moments that aren't exactly the expression of somebody's art, that bring them back into our lives. I lost somebody close to me recently, and it forces you into a thought process and a perspective where you have to like contextualize your relationship with this person and analyze, those things uh, that they leave with you. First time I met him was Little Five, was one of the bars. He asked, hit your vape. No fucking way. That's funny as hell, dude. I love that. Wow, that's really close up and personal. That's amazing. It's weird too because William Brent takes off his space helmet just to look at space butterflies. A figment in his mind. Oh, interesting. That's pretty symbolic because if you're taking your helmet off in space, it's like unaliving, and if you're floating around space and you really have nowhere to go, that might be something that you did, and the butterflies could be, something heavy like that, a figment. he raped your vape big time, huh? That's crazy. I mean, I can imagine. I know that dude definitely knew how to throw down when it came to all aspects of partying. That's for sure. In the playlist that I posted earlier, you have to check it out because if you go from interview to interview and interview, you can tell at times like he's just gone, and it's so fun. Like especially some of these sit down interviews with people that he's like really close to. There's one with him and Matt Pike, and they're just talking about everything. How Brent has a photo of Matt Pike where he's blacked out, and he wishes that photo was never taken, and it's blackmail, and so funny. I only met him 2 times in life, but I swear I knew him from before. Yeah, that's an interesting point as well. I mean, people that exist on that like really high vibrational level, like artists on their scale, I'm sure I'm not sure, but it makes a lot of sense to me to know that they vibrate through this universe in a really different and special and massive way. It's the macrocosm and the microcosm, whatever you can call that type of stuff. I think I seen the interview, they sing Shine Down. Yeah, dude, there's so much good ones out there. There's this there's a video series. I put out a call earlier to try and find the full length of this video series from a company called Fret 12. They do instructional videos and interviews and artist things. He collaborated with them on a video where he'll show you how to play riffs from all 3 of the bands, West End, Mastodon, and Fiend. And when he's in the room and he's talking you through some of these lessons, apparently he wore like lime green t-shirt and trousers. So the entire time they're green screening everything over his clothes. So all you see is like his head and his arms and his guitar. And the rest of him, there's all these patterns and psychedelics and space and fire and stuff. It's just brilliant. Like, even in such a serious setting and trying to teach people and help them improve their art, like, he's just completely not serious and it 100% in the moment and being improvisational. He talks about how he wrote Oblivion in that interview where he says he wrote Oblivion laying on the couch at his girlfriend's house after he got a head injury that I guess he sustained in a fight with, getting sucker punched by a friend of the Deftones drummer or something like that. There's this huge story behind that as well. But he said, yeah, he wrote that intro riff on the couch in Cheshire Cat pajamas. Let me jump back on. Yeah, the first day I met him was in the Halloween celebration they hold every year in Little Five Points. Man, I want to go to that so bad this year. We do a Halloween pop-up shop. I have like a funeral coach, and I do all this creepy stuff. You can see a lot of my garbage here in the garage, but I wanted to try and be a vendor at that event, and I just can't get away you have to do it for 3 days, I think. It's like setup day and both weekend days, and I can't be away that long at that point. I'm super jealous. That was the day. Oh, you discovered Banker? Oh man, that's so rad, dude. Dude, he went to the bathroom, left his phone at me. What a surreal moment. That's crazy. Yeah, that's wild, man. What a killer interaction. What a fun way to be introduced to somebody, and introduce something like Banker. What freaking cool guitars those are. I do. I have. This is probably like the nicest guitar I have, I would say. This is one that I haven't modified at all. But a lot of the other guitars that I have so far are ones that I've found and had to like repair or fabricate parts for or totally restore. One of my favorite things to do with guitars is to find like thrift store guitars and bring them back to life. So I'll get new pickups and solder them in, and a lot of the times I'm removing stuff because I generally only use one pickup, so I take out the tone knobs and do fun stuff like that. And I have basically a growing collection of really kind of crummy guitars, and when I saw the Banker stuff, I was just blown away. I know that like if I wanted the day that I want to get a serious guitar, Banker's the way to go. I saw there was I think it was Premier Guitars has a series on YouTube called Rig Rundown, and they've done Macedon a bunch of different times, and they always have something new. And for a long time, Brent was using vintage Gibson Flying V's, and then he had a custom, I think it's Electric Guitar Company, did a lucite, like a clear Flying V for him. And I was always interested in the types of guitars that he chose. The other dudes in Macedon kind of went more the traditional, like ESP, like signature, I think, and the Gibson signature, like Les Pauls and stuff. But Brent went like almost the opposite direction with the Telecasters after a while, and the hollow bodies and stuff, and then the Banker stuff is just totally, you could tell those dudes hit it off. Like there's an interview where he's talking about how he never got to know anybody at Gibson. Gibson never offered him a signature. He wanted a signature, I think a Silver Burst V. He ordered one from their custom shop and they made him pay for it, is what I heard. And then he ended up doing a signature with Epiphone, and they released his guitars, and I heard this directly from him. They released his guitars, and then they declared bankruptcy before he ever saw one dime from those. So he went out and did the promotion, designed it was a Flying V with his logo on the back, and they never paid him for it. So then he was like not about playing anything with those guys, and I guess he met the owner of Banker personally, and they hit it off personally, and Banker actually listened to him, and then he's done so many just tremendous looking guitars with those dudes. I mean, it wasn't too long ago on Instagram where I think there was some ordeal where Banker's reach was capped. Like he posted a picture, it's probably still on his wall, where they said, "We're not sharing your profile with any new users," or something. And like that can just totally kill a small business like Banker that uses social media in a very meaningful way to grow their audience. So I went right to their website and I bought a trucker hat. Like that's pretty much all that I could afford at that time. But I'll always look to support, traditional like handmade companies like that as much as I can. I got 2 teenagers in college, and times are tight. So right now I'm just doing my own custom stuff. But from time to time I'll post a guitar, and Banker will like it here and there. It's been really supportive in that realm, you know. I do love the process of making things and woodworking, and it feels fun to rescue some of the guitars that I've had the opportunity to. Uh, they're mostly Strats, which is not my favorite style of guitar either, but you know, it's just one of those things. I do remember, like, in the Hard Rock Cafe in South Florida where I'm from, they have one of Kurt Cobain's smashed Strats, and I read in a book, I think it was Dave Grohl said in one of his books that Kurt would always smash the guitars and then pull the pickups out, and then they'd have to drive around to a pawn shop. They would find another Strat, and he would just drop, because he liked Seymour Duncan JBs just on the bridge. So he would just pop the same pickup in another guitar and then smash that the next night. And then at points, Kurt would be too far gone to go, so his guitar tech would have to go around to local pawn shops and try and find Strats in pretty much every city, because he got so notorious for doing that. Um, when I first started doing this with that in mind, I did smash a few guitars, and I have to say it's one of the most cathartic experiences you can get, because if you hit them just right, they fucking explode, man. It's crazy. Let me catch up on the chat, dude. I'm sorry, I've been talking, my mouth is dry talking so much. That one had an ALU neck on it, kind of like the Greg Ginn. Yeah, it did. It had a forked headstock too. It's super cool. Spoke highly of Banker. Telling you the same story. I believe it. I mean, can you imagine just how jilted? There's another interview that's hilarious where he's demoing at a guitar clinic, and he is hammered. He is just on I think pretty much on the border of like blacking out. He might not have remembered the interview, but he's sitting there with the guy from Orange, and they're talking about Orange amplifiers at a certain point in the interview, and he's just like, yeah, you know, you guys won't give me a signature model until I get my shit together or something. And he just had no mercy on this poor rep, you know. He asked him, like, who tuned the guitar? He's like, oh, take it off those settings. Who did that? Like, I hate that. Like, he just took the gloves off. Jeremy McNeil is an incredible dude from Atlanta. Really? Mostly bass builder. Mighty fine. Hey, what's up, Lilac? Good. Thanks for coming back. How's your night? You know, I was telling everybody earlier, I grew up playing bass. I played in a thrash band. I played bass for like almost 20 years. So I would be into getting custom bass at some point when the time's right and the money's right. Right now I have a 1970s Fender that's been in my family since it was original. It's a jazz body with a precision neck. The original neck was broken in a car accident when my cousin Peter, the original owner, was on his way to play a show in Atlantic City, and they got in a car accident. They postponed the show, and he was able to find a guitar shop, but they only had the precision neck. So I'll show you guys that sometime soon. Lilac, the night's going good. We have a bunch of homies here. We're chilling. We're going on 80 minutes, an hour and 20. And it feels really good to have everybody out here and collaborating and talking to each other. We came here tonight. I don't know if you know who Brent Hinds was, but that's kind of the purpose of the stream. I'm not really playing my own stuff. I was jerking around on a couple of the riffs that I know from West End or from Mastodon a second ago, but we're mostly just telling stories and sharing our love for Brent Hinds' guitar work, his music writing, his artwork, and sharing our interactions. So if you have any, please do share, and if you read anybody else's or want to talk to them, just be respectful, and we're all just chilling. It's great. Should never smash a guitar. I know it is bad luck. I don't do it anymore. Um, Now I just have so many guitars because I just keep finding them. They find their way to me. I think I'm up to 12 now. If my wife is watching, I'm sure it's more like 10. But uh, yeah, so I'm not smashing them anymore. Now I'm bringing them back to life. I'm paying my penance and fixing up already broken guitars. So no more of that. I really don't think. And I know Brent wasn't known for that. I know he had many and many guitars. I've seen a few of them, uh, and I followed some of them. It's pretty incredible stuff, especially the bankers that we were talking about with Villis. I don't know if I'm saying that right, Villis. Remember that one? I would never want to be a famous, deal with stupid ass questions and fake interviews and all that. I'm glad he was real and kind of dick sometimes. He totally was. There were some like at the Nam show, for instance, where he just, if there's a totally insincere or uninformed interviewer, he just takes them to task. It was so funny. Yeah, forward me the account, dude. I'd love that. Decibel. Oh, hell yeah. Played a few shows with Hot Ram. That's how I got introduced. Oh, sick. Hot Ram and Dayglow Morning. Oh, wow, dude. That's awesome. Thanks for popping in and sharing the stories, dude. It's something that we haven't really gotten to talk that much, so it's really great to get to know you. And it's good to see you back, Travis. Thanks for popping in and saying what's up, dude. Yeah, those interviews, I mean, it can't be easy. Like, you see some of the things that people at that level have to do, and it's just seems unfair, to a certain degree. Hella witty, a lot of stuff would go over people's heads. Yeah, totally. Saw him in a meet and greet and ate gummy bears. It was awesome. Gummy bears are awesome. They're like the perfect sweet thing, and they don't really stay in your teeth too long. Like, they dissolve, I guess, because they're just pure sugar. But some of the treats that I like are so sticky, and they just kind of gum up your teeth. So that's an interesting point that you bring up. There was an interview that I watched. I think it's in my playlist out there. And Brent is talking to a podcast host, and they're discussing how bands get as big as Mastodon got. And Brent, at that time, I think it was more towards the end of his relationship with Mastodon, where he was saying like how they pretty much have you in shackles, and you get an advance for your record, and you spend that advance to build your tour, and then your tour basically is just to pay back that advance, and you have, of course, the merch sales, but they had this really unique way of making money by doing meet and greets, and they would do a special like soundcheck access, like a meet and greet through soundcheck, and then both Brent and Bill would do lessons in the cities where they were playing, hour blocks where you could come in and get a one-on-one guitar lesson. So it is interesting that you bring that up, and it is probably a great place to meet and experience him, because it's probably one of the only times where he feels like relaxed and to be a part of that, where there's so much pressure to do all the other things, especially things like interviews and guitar lessons and things of that nature. So yes, the sour ones are top tier. Oh my god, the other day we discovered this thing in the drugstore down the street, and it's like clusters of nerds around like a gummy core. It's the most insane sour gummy experience. They're so good. I ate like too many. I think probably like 4 was like too many, but I just gorged myself on them. It was wild. They're super good. And I've had some cravings for soda recently, and I tried not to drink it for a long time, but it just makes your teeth sizzle if you're eating those stupid gummy things. Seemed to be a lot more relaxed after the whole mutual thing. Yeah, I got that too. He like had those two moments where he exploded and called people out on social media, but you know what? Like, that's not strange, and you're allowed to crash out. You know, you're allowed to call people out on their bullshit, especially if it's something that you feel has hurt you or has hurt, you know, your anybody that you care about. Like, no, he didn't want to be at the meet and greet. This other woman met kind of and cheered him up a bit. Oh, no way, really? It's being a stormy rain cloud. That's hilarious. He didn't want to talk to all the Mastodon fanboys. Yeah, you mentioned that before. Actually, I remember that. It must have been 2024. Yeah, that's like right there in the sunset of things. And it is wild. You know, it is wild when you get to that level of popularity, right? I imagine, especially somebody who seems to, at least from the interviews and stuff that I've seen, seems to be an empathetic person and seems to be very affected by people's energies and stuff. An artist, and a lot of artists are sensitive in that way, you know. Cool thing was Braun and Bill were actually both there. Oh, no way, seriously? That's sick. I got to meet Braun at the birthday bash, and he was just super nice. I mean, you can tell he has a very unique charm to him. He seems to be able to get along with anybody and be in a situation with anybody where he can be funny and intellectual and say things that actually land and have meaning, you know? Garden Club show, my birthday was April 16th. Oh, wow, no way. Willis was there too. Hell yeah. Met him at Kelly's birthday party. We said hi, but that was all. I was hanging with my buddy JB. Oh, how fun, dude. Just to be in such a close circle that you both end up at the same birthday party. That's fun. Got the last Fiend koozie? No fucking way. Oh man, I don't have any Fiend merch. I look out there a lot, and I can only find stuff that's related to the movie. You know, Braun is nice. They all are. I understand the split. My dad was a drunk. Just tragic how it all ended. Yeah, it is. It is. You know, demons are powerful in many regards, and sometimes they take many shapes and sizes, and sometimes they're in a bottle. Something that I know a little too well about, but story for another day. Hit up the Kelly's Pickle people. They got the merch. Oh, no way. Yeah, their merch is dope. They have some fire stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry you went through that, mother trucking. That's tough, you know. My dad was the same, and it definitely tore everything apart. You know, he split when I was super young, and that's why from time to time on social I'll refer to Brent as Pops, because I never really had one, and you know, parents adopt kids every day, so I'm adopting a dad. Why not? Like, somebody tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. Kelly and his wife are amazing people, and they'll take care of you with that stuff. Oh, hell yeah. That's sick, dude. I love pickles. Right now I'm pickling cucumbers upstairs. I'm pickling cucumbers that I grew. My wife loves spice, and I have this. All right, so don't get me started about gardening. I have a small garden on my balcony, and I grow cucumbers. I grow the hottest habanero peppers this side of the Mason-Dixon. I grow jalapenos. I have a fig tree that's starting to bud. I grow a couple different herbs, basils and rosemaries and stuff. Tomatoes are like my big thing, but pretty much everywhere I go, I look for the good pickle connection. Back in South Florida, we had this, I guess you call it a flea market. I used to call it the Dirt Mall. And they had a pickle vendor there just outside of the antique store. Oh, we would crush it. You could go and get any type of pickle out of a big 50-gallon barrel, and then stroll into the antique store and lose your mind on some of the cool stuff that we'd find. Pickles are superfoods. They are, and the pickle juice is good for hangovers too, right? I have had pickle salsa as well. It's incredible, and fried pickles, guilty pleasure. And then at my deli, we have a fried pickle dip too. It's pretty amazing. Bam, we're back. Thanks for coming back, homie. Yeah, I'm stoked we got on the pickle topic. Have to get some. Like I said, we're pickling some now, and then my wife likes to add the peppers to her own little batches, and it's pretty intense. Oh, the dorm has 5G? Sick, dude, you're pumped. I'm out here in my garage, and I got 0G. I'm sorry if the stream is laggy. It's tough because I'm just doing this from my phone. So low tech, I think, is the best tech at certain points. We're just out here to be together and have a good time, and I think we've achieved that. I'm really stoked that you guys are here. Fried green tomatoes, incredible. Anytime we go back to New York, that's one of the things that we indulge with almost right away. Damn, nowhere with fried okra in Ohio. Surprisingly not surprising. Yeah, we were just talking about that. I was making popcorn chicken at the deli, and my homegirl there, her name is Deb, I made her a handful of popcorn chicken. She thought it was fried okra. She got so excited for a second, and then she was like, oh, well, popcorn chicken's okay too. I was like, oh man, don't worry, I could fry you up some okra. Yeah, Mother Truckin', I think you're out in Ohio too. I'm gonna get that one under my fingers soon. I'll give you guys an update. So many people parking their cars outside of my silly garage here. Everywhere I've been in Georgia, I quite dislike. Oh yeah? Oh no, except for quiet, smaller towns. That's funny. Yeah, the South is weird. It varies so much from place to place. Some of them get really, really kind of dicey. Savannah is okay. There's a cool spot in Savannah called the Grave Face Museum. Yeah, you disliked Atlanta as well. There's some definitely dark sides to Atlanta. I think Little Five Points stood out to me the most when I went there. I was like, oh, this is a cool community, but I've had some pretty bad experiences just outside of Atlanta. I think driving through Atlanta is tough too. They have that like beltway that goes around. I usually default to that. Hour away from Atlanta in a town called Mansfield. Phyllis, I moved here not by choice. I blame the Air Force. Oh, well, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, by the way. That's super important, and I respect that tremendously. Mansfield, Ohio. That's funny. An hour and a half away, usually a small place called Yatesville. Interesting. I'm in South Carolina in a town called Simpsonville, which is Greenville County. We're only about 2 hours, maybe 2 and 15 away from Atlanta. But from our side, it's a beautiful drive. It's very, mountains and trees and stuff. So coming from the south or from the east, I know Atlanta's a pretty sprawling city. It's easier to commute to a big city than live in it. Yeah, easier on rent too, 100%. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, rent everywhere is like really hard to believe expensive. I can't believe it. Like even where we're at, Times are tough, man. It's tough all over. Big dog once, but she's gone. I'm going back to car life. Oh yeah, yeah. That's really tough, man. That's a tough call to make, but I think it's just about every other day that me and my wife say, "Well, we're ready for van life," but we also have dogs, so that's really the limiter. Definitely, I can resonate with that. Yeah, Atlanta has some dark sides. It definitely does. My wife follows some online drama, and there's always so much coming out of Atlanta when it comes to toxic scenes and stuff. That's again why I think Little 5 Points stood out to me. Like when I got there, I felt like reminded me a lot of Miami a little bit, like the Fort Lauderdale area. There's some more like colorful and artistic communities out there, so it's it's pretty tight. I like the I like the vibe. I liked there was a store that I think Bill worked at some point called Junkman's Daughter, and I went on a little bit of a tour of the places that I had seen in some videos and some interviews and stuff, like where Brent and Tom went to hop trains and where the C11 warehouse used to be when they were living back there in the early 2000s. Yellow Springs, Ohio. Oh yeah, I've never heard of Yellow Springs, Ohio. Been to a place called Blacklick, and it was pretty standard suburb. It's a great place with great vibes, good music, and good food. Yeah. Oh my God. All right. Good night, Travis. We'll see you on the next one, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Instagram. Star Bar. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that place is so cool. I see so many awesome flyers. Good night, brother. Yeah, much love to you too, homie. Thanks for stopping in and supporting. Dave Chappelle pretty much owns a lot of Yellow Springs now. Really? That's interesting. I know that he did move out of Hollywood very famously and very quickly, right? At some point, he just kind of bailed on all of it. Yeah, I kind of respect that though. Is it a good thing or a bad thing that he owns it? I guess that's TBD, but I could see doing that if the timing and the money were right. Savage Pizza right next to Junkman's has some of the best pizza you've ever had. All right, dude, I'm definitely going there because we have not found good pizza even remotely close out here in the Carolinas anyway. Uh, I don't know. Blame the water. I don't know what it is. We had a good spot in Florida though. It's always had Ohio property. Locals don't like it because he's voted down low income apartments, which we need. Yeah, that's. Oh man, that's sad to hear. That's sad to hear. So many people need affordable housing. Yeah, all right. Try the no-brainer. Okay, I'm down. I like the name of it. That's sick. Uh, I can easily remember that too. That's so fun. Yeah, Elmira was amazing. We love Mexican fusion and you want to visit Star Bar and Elmira so bad. Got a whole list to see to sightsee in Georgia. Yeah, yeah, me too. Me too. There's some great places looking around there. Um, yeah, the Star Bar, it's legendary. It's like that. And uh, back in the day in my old band, we got to play the Masquerade, but it was like the old Masquerade. We played with this band from Atlanta called Stuck Mojo. It was like this new metal-y rap metal thing with Rich Ward. I think he's in Fozzy or started Fozzy, but yeah, Stuck Mojo at the Masquerade. That was a fun time. Way back in the young days. Star Bar used to be an old bank too. Really interesting. Don't recommend staying in Atlanta if you want to enjoy Georgia truly. Fun fact, we went to Atlanta once specifically because it was the only place within driving that we could find a hotel with a hot tub hot tub in it. Oh man, sometimes your back just needs a hot tub, like. And when we got there, it was crazy because the room with the hot tub had carpet in it. Oh, it was so gross, man. You just know that carpet was a test tube, like bacteria farm on the most biblical scale. Where do you recommend just out and just commute for fun? Yeah, that is a good ask because there's always some places like you know around here in the Carolinas in the upstate. Asheville gets like the most notoriety when it comes to music and art and culture, but watch your back in Asheville. It gets really dicey really quickly, and I definitely wouldn't recommend staying directly in it. But if you ever wanted to visit that place, you could stay in like Mars Hill or Hendersonville, and it's about like 30 to 40 minutes outside of that city. Uh, Mastodon's coming there in September. I think it's like September 18th or 26th or something like that. But uh, I'm thinking about going to that show. It's but something that I'd probably like to Airbnb and stay up that direction. I think I stayed in Bunkhead last time at a motel. I got a tattoo at Big Cat and kind of wanted to be close to Garden Club. Oh, cool. You got a tattoo here? What kind of tattoo did you get while you were there? That's rad. I like getting tattoos when I travel and visit places. If you can just pop in and get a small zapper, it's always worth it. I have just tons of like tiny little ornamental tattoos because I do that from time to time. Even though I'd avoid McDonough, there's a lot of nice hotels. The area's nice. Traffic is bad. That's kind of like always the situation, isn't it? Only like 30 minutes from Atlanta. McDonough. That's a good look. Got a skull. Memento Mori from one of Brent's best friends. Another crazy fucking coincidence. Oh wow, no way. That's that's really cool. I'd love to check that out. Uh oh. People know people. That's so sick. Oh my god. I love that. I love that about this type of stuff. Wow, such a coincidence. I love that so much. Ben Thomas. I'll have to go check him out when I'm down there. I'm always looking for new tattoos and opportunities. I just started learning to tattoo myself, and right now I'm practicing just line work. I have a few fake skins that I'm drilling little scribbles into. Right now I'm just, you know, my fake skin looks like a high school desk. Like it's got like titties and dick bud and like people throwing the horns and stuff. But something that I want to get into and something that I want to like really invest some time and experience into. And I think one of the first things that I'm going to do when I move from tattooing to fake skin to like tattooing on my thigh or something is do one of Brent's scribbles that I've like captured from some videos here and there. So if you guys want them, I'll post them up. I have two different like devil heads that he drew. One is quite big and has some bulgy eyes and stuff, and one is like a small like profile. Looks pretty sick. Originally heard of him from Jolly Rancher, Jolly Roger tattoo in McDonough because I wore my Mastodon shirt into the place. Use grapefruits too as practice. Yeah, I hear that. It's good for training on like curved surfaces because there's no real flat surfaces on people at all unless it's like the middle of their back or whatever. But yeah, that's a good look. I'm definitely gonna try practicing on those. I saw like some silicone body parts too, like forearms and stuff. Yeah, it looks a little sketch, but it would be fun to practice on those too. Uh, Guy's been tattooing American traditional for over 20 years. Oh, sick. I like simple Sailor Jerry style stuff. I really only have like one or two tattoos with color in them. Most of mine are just like scribbly. This is so rad. I've learned so much from you guys sharing. Thanks so much for sharing all that. And now there's somewhere interesting to stay that's not downtown Atlanta, and don't have to worry about that. And you got the tattoo recommend. So hell yeah, Ben. What's the name of the shop? I'll have to hit you up. He's tight with Matt Pike and Uncle Chan too. Oh no way. Ben Thomas. All right, I'm gonna go check him out on Insta as well. Give him a follow. That'll be sick. Talking my way through my whole bottle here. Oh goodness. Well, we're coming up on 11. I think I'm gonna start to dial this back and get ready. I have to go to work in the morning. I'm sure everybody else, class or work. What y'all doing tomorrow? Not currently there. He's out of state. The owner of Big Cat is also cool. David. Oh, cool. Wow, you got to know these dudes. That's rad. Big Cat Tattoo. I love that. There's not really any, like, my wife found a good artist around here. His name is Zach. He did a rendition of our funeral coach on her forearm. Came out amazing. He's got some really clean stuff. Mostly does like Godzilla and stuff like that. So it's not quite what I'm looking for. Like, I'm more into the scratchy black and white old school stuff and the jailhouse stuff. So classes for me, yeah, dude, I feel you. Airplanes and such. Again, thank you for your service. It's really amazing to hear. My daughter's studying aviation down at FIT. She wants to be a pilot, and I'm sure that you guys might have a little bit in common. I'm blown away by the amount of IQ and ingenuity it takes to wrap your head around those things. Tomorrow, Mother Truckin's got roofers coming. Oh boy. Yeah, she's definitely gonna think it's Armageddon. That's tough, man. Roofers freak dogs the hell out. I have 3 dogs right now, and the smallest one, we just found her. She just followed me home through the parking lot the other day, and that dog has the loudest bark, and she's only about this big, but it cuts through walls like Nightcrawler. Like, the walls just don't exist when that dog barks, and she barks at pretty much every sound. We're coming to find out. Ooh, it's tough, but she likes the guitar. She likes music, so that's nice. She kind of quiets down when I start playing. So yeah, the big dog complex, it is 100%. It's like because she gets so lippy. The other 2, I have a French bulldog. It's like more like an English bulldog, but it's the color of a French bulldog, and a pit bull. And the little one has no fear around any of that. Yeah, good hangs with everybody for sure. I hope we all get some rest and have some good sleep tonight. It's so important. So important. I know Tim dropped out early to get some sleep, man. Like, sleep is one of my favorite things to do. I definitely do that. And dogs, yeah, dogs do love acoustic guitar. It's like something that, especially my friend, her ears, she just like dials in and sits down, and she put her chin right on my leg when I'm playing. And yeah, I always look forward to playing with her. She's like my #1 fan, I always say. Well, that was rad. I really learned a lot about Brent from you guys, and it was really cool listening to your experiences and your stories and those chance meetings and stuff. How lucky and how blessed we are, not like blessed, but how life gives us a very certain opportunity to experience people. Oh, hell yeah, thank you. I'll check them out as soon as I sign off. Instagram is like my bedtime story. So yeah, thanks for sharing, everybody. This has been rad. I think I might do another video on the 20th. It depends like how crowded the airwaves are and stuff. I know there's going to be a lot of things happening for Brent, but when I've been describing some of these interviews and things, I might just make some highlight clips, and from my streaming space upstairs, do a more traditional live video where I can share screen and we can watch some of these things and laugh a little bit together. If you guys would be into that, let me know, and I'll put something together. It's always fun to just kind of sit back and watch things with friends and be goofy. And otherwise, I'll see y'all on the gram in the morning. Definitely had so much fun, and we'll be doing these again. I'll be doing another live stream like this where I'm going to be going further down the songwriting path with the songs that I've been sharing on these lives. So I think we're up to 6 or 7 at the moment. Just raw building blocks, verse, pre-chorus, chorus stuff. But that's kind of the purpose for me jumping into these live streams and sharing music with you guys, and trying to sharpen my skills and become a better songwriter in a way that's collaborative. I have reached out to a few people. I've had some people volunteer because one of my songs I need some gang vocals for. So it'd be fun to just kind of shout into your phone and send me over a little file. I'll explain more about that in the next one when I actually have my freaking trapper keeper and I can make some notes. So as soon as we cut this, I'm going to run upstairs and grab that thing and write down my experiences and my thoughts, because it's something that I just do religiously. And yeah, there will be more of Tim's live. I think we're going to do a collab live really soon. We're going to start working more together with GTV as a platform, where we're collaborating on these lives and interviewing some people. So that'll be fun. And thanks for the wishes on the good work day. I'm not looking forward to it, man. But it is what it is, and you got to do it. So I'm going to choose awesome, and I'm just going to get out there and have fun, I love to cook, so that's always an upside. And all right, it's 11. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for being here, and can't wait to talk to you about this after we've had some time to, I should have said this, or, oh, I remember that. It's never just one of these things. We'll be talking more and more, I'm sure. All right, thanks, guys, for the friendship and the trust and for your time. I'll see you in the next one.